What's going on, my curious and intellectual people? Welcome back to Intriguing Insights, where deep conversations meet everyday life, looking beyond the obvious to uncovering meaning, challenge assumption, and find wisdom in places most people overlook. While last week we were focusing on resetting our why, but this week we're going to focus on the internal work before the external change. And today's paradigm shift is why people who respect themselves live disciplined lives. Discipline gets a bad rap. People imagine it as harsh, rigid, and punishing, basically something to dread. But what if discipline isn't about self-deprivation and self-flagellation? What if it's something profound as self-respect? This shift in mindset can actually transform the way we see personal growth and lasting change. Discipline is how self-love shows up. But before we get too deep into it, we must first realize and recognize how to love ourselves. And I know what you're saying. Everybody loves themselves. But my question is, are we really loving ourselves if what we are doing is harmful to us? I was told this many times in my pre-Christian years, which actually got me nowhere. Because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I emotionally love myself. But do I love myself actively? Love is not just an emotion. It's not just something that you feel. Love as an emotion does motivate what you do. And what you do is a result of what you feel inside. For instance, if I love myself, then I will eat healthy. If I love myself and my family, then I will manage and steward my money effectively. If I love those around me, then I will protect them from any type of harmful things such as violence, death, harsh words, misguidance, going down the wrong path that is only going to give them a bad result. So when I say what I'm doing that gives me benefits, that is fruitful and prosperous and healthy for me, then I can truly say I love myself. Now, concerning discipline, most of us think that forcing ourselves to do something we hate, suppressing desires, adhering to strict rules that feels like punishment is discipline. Yeah, that would be I. If you don't remember, in episode 2, I highly did not recommend us to take this approach because it's a misconception of discipline. But that is exactly what I've done my whole entire life in order for me to gain the results of a lot of the actions, which makes me very rigid. And in that sense, it's not giving myself any type of grace, any type of mercy. But I did end up developing, because of my determination and commitment of the goals that I wanted to achieve, success. This perspective makes discipline feel external and harsh, something from the outside rather than chosen from within. This becomes a codependency to always needing supportive people on our side, or can only accomplish and achieve doing teamwork, or need that motivational or inspirational reel to give us that push in order to take the step out into our goals. Discipline is actually aligning your actions with your core values and goals. It's saying to yourself, I respect myself enough to do what is necessary, even when it's uncomfortable. This mindset shift moves discipline from a negative chore to a positive, empowering practice, motivated by the why because our why would always be bigger than the what. What we have to realize is that discipline protects our future self. Because discipline and boundaries, they go hand in hand. Boundaries defines our limits, while discipline involves teaching and guiding behaviors within those limits. This sets the foundation and builds on top of it in order for your future self to be well off. We need that foundation of self-awareness and self-compassion in order to sustain discipline in our habits. And how do we build that foundation? Is by understanding why we want change, connecting with our authentic motivation, what we discussed from episode 1, writing down one reason why our goal matters, and also by recognizing your triggers and your obstacles without judgment. Take control and ownership of your own life. And lastly, cultivating patience and kindness with yourself through setbacks. Because you see, this inner work creates a mindset where discipline flows naturally because it's rooted in respect and not fear or guilt. So start small, but just be consistent. Because consistency is a badge of honor. So just be patient and kind with yourself, recognizing that it's made through persistence and intentional steps rather than quick fixes. Set clear and meaningful intentions aligned with your core values so that your consistent actions honor what really matters to you. Hold yourself accountable, gently but firmly, treating each step as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. And I'm going to end with this. What would respecting yourself look like daily? Remember, clarity doesn't come from easy answers, but from the courage to ask the hard ones. So stay curious, stay open, and keep looking deeper. Peace.